Thanks, Adrian. And it's a pleasure to be here. There's only one other place you could have been today, and that's at the Adelaide Zoo to listen to Nick Xenophon, deciding to make a decision to run for the Senate. But probably this will be more exciting than listening to Nick Xenophon. The fundamentals, long-run fundamentals of economic growth are all about productivity, innovation and competitiveness, and you couldn't get an industry, I don't think, in my view, that's sort of closer to that field of economics in trying to understand why some economies grow more rapidly than other economies. Long-run, the sort of fundamentals of long-run economic growth, a little bit more than that, but certainly very much about industries that have very, very high rates of innovation. And it's very critical, this industry is very critical for South Australia's competitiveness, our exports, and as I'm sure you're all aware, it's got significant implications for sort of workforce planning in the South Australian economy as well, because of the constituency of people who work in this industry. Over 55% of people in the ICT industry have a university qualification and other qualifications, and they're sort of quite a significant contributor to that educated workforce profile of South Australian economy. And I'm sure you're all aware, if you look at some of the demographics, demand for skilled labour in this area and defence area and electronics and so on is very, very critical. So I compliment the industry and the government in conducting this survey. As Adrian said, it's very much focused on exports and the performance of the industry in exports. So I congratulate the ICT Council on their initiative and commitment, and the government as well. The other thing I think it is important, and I have done one of these sessions before, and it might have been in this room, is that the Council has a commitment to feed back the results of surveys. Now, the Centre for Economic Studies does quite a lot of surveys in a whole range of areas, from sort of social capital and gambling and regional development right through to defence, mining, electronics and ICT with the last four. I'm very conscious of the fact that you're asking companies and firms to sort of commit time and effort to surveys of this nature. So to those people who are present who contributed this survey, might I say thank you very much on behalf of the Centre for Economic Studies and I'm sure the ICT Council. You know, really without this data it's very difficult to plan policy interventions and to know about the performance of the industry, and you really, I think, get the data from the quality of responses that companies provided us in this survey. So on behalf of the Centre and I'm sure the ICT Council, I'd just like to thank you all for continuing to contribute to surveys, and it may be that we'll be back knocking on your door towards the end of next year. Just by way of introduction then, the ICT Council did commission this survey in about April, May this year. The Centre was commissioned to analyse the results, and the two objectives of this study are really to understand the recent performance of the industry in terms of export performance and more particularly any assistance that companies may require to enter and develop export markets. So quite a targeted study focusing exclusively, almost exclusively on export performance of this industry.